welcome back. I can't really say we're having so much fun, but it's so
really interesting and really important.
So interesting. And Shannon, you had an interesting comment because Troy's coming at this from his training. I mean, really, literally decades of training, but you're not.
Correct. Yes. So when Troy's sitting here talking about he was assessing, he knew that the shooter was not in the venue. He didn't know where, but he knew he wasn't in the venue. And he's talking about how he knew that we had time and, we could stay where we were while he was figuring out. He was, as far as I know, he was the only one in our group that knew the person was not in the venue. We were in there for 10 minutes. And
it's a long time.
And I thought the person was in there. When Troy got shot in the leg, the shooter had changed his trajectory. And so it was actually starting to hit the container we were hiding behind. So I actually visually...
So at first it wasn't. It was going a different direction. So you were safe for a little while. And then all of a sudden he changed direction.
Yeah, we would get some errant rounds and we got some shrapnel that hit us. I got hit on almost every barrage, but it was just... shrapnel or pieces from the ground or, there'd be an errant round that maybe hit the building once that we were behind the corrugated metal. But very, very rare did the actual rounds come directly at us. And then once I got shot, that first barrage was right on us. And then subsequent barrages after that you could see the impact rounds hitting everywhere around us. So that it was just raining down on us at that point.
And are you seeing people get shot as well?
Not on those barrages, but on the other ones. The ones prior to that, when I was assessing. Yeah, because what they would do is a lot of people would lay down on the ground when they started hearing gunfire.
Which is not the right thing to do, right?
Not with a sniper.
No.
But
we
they
thought
didn't
he
know.
was in the venue. So it is the right thing to do.
So get low is what you often hear.
Right.
Get down low.
Right.
But he was up high.
Right. So if you were
what are you going to do?
Yeah. If you were to take a pencil and put it on a table and look at it through the height of your eye, that would be a sniper round, right? That would be a sniper position. If you lay the pencil down, how much more surface area do you have?
Right.
So those are kind of the things that I can see, but there were also people that were running from the front of the stage to the main exit where we came from, where we have to check in. And they were actually running through gunfire because they only knew of one area to go to.
Geez. And so that's the thing that I've always been taught is never go through the main exit where everyone else is going through. Unless you are certain you can get out, but if there's another way to go, you need to go.
Yeah. I mean, and in this case, he didn't really have the main exit covered. It was just angle. The angle of his rounds were coming in between the exit and where those people were standing. And so they had to run through I don't think they knew they were running through the bullets, but they were running through the bullets
they were just
to get
confused,
there.
probably.
Yeah, they had no
So then walk us through what happened so we can get to what do you do?
Well, and when did you get shot? I'm still wanting to.
So
he got shot around the 5th barrage, and that was when we all thought the guy was walking towards us. So there was like a point where I thought I had a plan where we talk about having plans and stuff. I had a plan where I felt like Troy wouldn't leave people. He was trying to protect him. So I thought I was going to watch him get shot, how I was going to pull him out to safety. Like I was trying to do that. And then at another point was, where your fight or flight comes in. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. If this guy comes around the corner, I just fought for my life for the last year. He's not taking me out. Like I was ready to,
bear thing.
I probably wouldn't have won, but I was ready to take it on.
So because of the breast cancer and having survived that, and it's like, no, not this. This is not.
Yeah, we didn't. My family didn't go through what we just went through to then end it here. So I think that also helped me in being more of a partner to Troy and helping him get people out. But yeah, there was when he got shot, he told me that we needed to tell people to move over like 12 inches, and the people to my right were just ghosts. They couldn't move. They were frozen. They were frozen or overstimulated. I was looking at them. There were so many, and they were sitting down. It was like I was yelling at them. People are getting shot. I need you to move, and they couldn't. And that's when I relayed to him. I'm like, they can't move. And
Yeah, their
that's when we
basal
were gonna
ganglia.
run.
run.
It's an
They
area
shock-
deep in the
shock.
brain.
Yeah.
When it gets activated, some people, like police officers
Yeah, I'm like
and
that too. I
firefighters,
freak out and-
they can go toward the fire.
Right.
People like me, and I was an infantry medic, but I didn't like it at all because my first response is to freeze.
Yeah.
And it used to make me feel bad until I realized, oh, that's just my brain.
Right.
And so if you can just move your pinky,
Yes.
then you can move. So it's like you don't have to move everything at once. Just move your pinky and then you can get activated during trauma.
Right.
And that's amazing because that's something that we teach. I don't do it in the clinical way you do it, but I teach that because if you can make a decision, even if it's a hundredth of a second, that decision will break that freeze. And you can say, oh, I can do this, and then move to that and then make another decision. And that will keep you from getting to that point where you're frozen. So we do train that. But one of the things that Shannon said was funny because when I got shot, she yelled at me, "Did you get shot?" And I said, "No."
And he really thought that I thought he didn't get shot by saying no.
Well, I don't want her to panic.
I was like, if I'm asking the question,
And you
I
got shot
might
in the
know.
You
right-
actually know.
Is that right?
I got shot in the right thigh.
On the right thigh.
Yeah. So the bullet entered my thigh and broke up in there. I have like 13 pieces in my leg. And eventually the doctor said that they should remove those one by one in the future. So, but after that, what happened was...
And was it because, I'm sorry, I just have to know.
Yeah.
Was it because it came through the corrugated metal?
No, I was actually standing outside the corrugated metal.
Because?
That it was where I needed to be so that everybody else could get their cover.
he was standing right on the corner of the corrugated metal so that he could see the whole venue of what was happening. So, he was
So
a
you're
little
trying
bit
to
more
assess
still.
the situation.
So I'm trying to assess, and then I couldn't push anybody else out of the way.
All right, so you get shot. Then what happens?
Then, because the angle of the rounds started coming differently, that's when I got shot. I told everybody we need to move over a little bit. People couldn't do that. Some of the people couldn't do that, but there was about 20 people who looked at me and said, "Okay, we can do stuff." It was a nonverbal communication that we had,
Yeah.
but I could tell that these people were willing to do what I
nodding
needed to
and
do,
moving.
what I needed to do to get them out. So I gave some more commands and said, we're going to move to the House of Blues. It's a covered bar, just on the other side of the venue. So on the next barrage, we're going to move on the next reload. So another barrage came out. We saw a lot of impact rounds, a lot of things. We were taking a lot of rounds. And then once that barrage stopped, I said, go, go, go. We all ran to the House of Blues, got inside. At the point we got inside, there was more rounds coming down range, but no, I don't think at us. I don't think the bar got hit. I don't know, but I don't think it got hit.
But now you're in a building.
Now we're in a building, which was much safer because
So
Yeah,
even
you
though
got
you've been
walls.
shot,
Right.
you've been able to move your body.
Yes.
And help these people find shelter.
Right. And then, so while we were in there, I gave them, I told them, hold on for a second. Let me check the back. So I went out the back, checked that. It's a good escape route. And there was an emergency exit right behind there. So the gate had been opened. Everybody's flooding out there. I went back in, grabbed everybody and said, okay, let's get to the doorway. We got to the doorway. We made another assessment when rounds came down range. And then once those rounds stopped, then we moved out.
Why
of the
didn't you
venue.
just stay in the bar?
I
Because you still didn't know?
Well, I knew the guy was outside the venue, but that bar is a makeshift bar. It's not real walls. So
I didn't
if
know
he
that.
started targeting the bar, the rounds would still come
Okay.
through.
Yeah.
So I just decided we needed to get
It was
outside the venue.
concealment.
Got
wasn't
it.
covered.
And
Got it.
Shannon, what's going on in your head?
I really can't tell you. It
Were you
sheer
just sort of
terror.
an autopilot?
Yeah, I was trying to follow anything that Troy told us. Again, I didn't understand why we were going in the bar because I thought that the person was still in the venue and he had us like hide behind a bar. So a lot of my things were in my head. Why are we doing this? Why do you have us sitting here? But I fully trusted him.
Right, 'cause you know
So then I wasn't verbally questioning any of it. I felt like I knew we needed to get him out because we needed to find a
Medical,
medic for him.
Right.
So it was the energy in that area. Troy talks a lot about the carnage. For him, that's what resonates with him. For me, it was the energy of the whole experience.
The people being so freaked out.
It was just so heightened. Your whole body, even every time I talk about it, even right now, I feel that whole vibration go through my body. And I think that was very consuming, is that you were just on autopilot, like you say, just
that adrenaline
trying
had to be insane
to survive and get out. And so by the time we got out of there, we every time we'd find a paramedic or something like that for Troy, there would be people that were so much more worse than he was. And so we'd just keep on moving. And of course, Troy being who he is,
he's being
we're not going down the
and
main areas. We are traversing alleys, and we're going over fences, and because he is like, you can't go the masses, because if there were, because we still didn't know, right, if it was one person.
I would never go with the people.
So it was and by the time we went in to Hooters, got into Hooters, and somebody started screaming active shooter, it was a very high stress again, even though Troy was like, there's not an active shooter, you still have
it's that survival.
Yeah, it was still like, what if there is?
It's changing your nervous system.
It turns on, and it doesn't just turn off.
Changing your nervous system.
Yeah.
There's a fascinating book on why zebras don't get ulcers. And so, I mean, in a sense, you're having your zebra moment where the lion is chasing you and the lion wants you as lunch. Yeah. But why zebras don't get ulcers is their nervous systems can go back quickly. But if you have a year where you've just been fighting cancer, that's not like a single episode where the lion's chasing you. It's like the frickin' lion is chasing you for a year.
Right.
And if you've been a police officer for 20 years, then your nervous system has been heightened with all of the things that you've seen and experienced, because this is not the first traumatic event that you'd seen or you'd experienced, right?
Right.
But it did give you an advantage.
Yes.
Oh, clearly a tactical advantage where, I mean, that's really the hero part, where you were able to save the lives of those people who were dependent on
how many
you.
of them may not have made it out?
And so it's interesting. When we come back, I want to talk about, okay, well, what's the fallout for both of you personally, and then let's talk about how we met, and then you guys come into the clinic, and the difference.
And I want to talk about strategies just a little bit.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that's important for people.
Great. Stay with us.
If you're enjoying the Brain Warriors Way podcast, please don't forget to subscribe so you'll always know when there's a new episode. And while you're at it, feel free to give us a review or 5-star rating, as that helps others find the podcast.
If you're considering coming to Amen Clinics or trying some of the brain healthy supplements from BrainMD, you can use the code podcast10 to get a 10% discount on a full evaluation at amenclinics.com, or a 10% discount on all supplements at brainmdhealth.com. For more information, give us a call at 855-978-1363.